Hey guys, Professor Bill of Comic Book University and Doctor Strange, issue number 4. I'm not going to play around with this. Let's get right into who's doing this book. It's writer Mark freaking Waid, artist Jesus freaking Saez, and letterer VC's Joe freaking Sabino. Cover artist also Jesus Saez. So literally, Jesus does all of the art in this book. The front cover, the inside, the inks, the pencils, the colors. This dude's just like, prepare to die by my pen and my pencils and my paintbrush, whatever he's using, because damn, this dude is good. His dude is really good. So this story is part 4 of Sorcerer Supreme of the Galaxy. Basically, Strange has to fight against a couple of Magistanians in order to accomplish what he's trying to accomplish, and he winds up taking a little bit of revenge because he could have gotten away, but he didn't want to leave in the face of defeat, and he's been trying too much, and his magic's been getting a little bit stronger, so he decides to go back, but he winds up risking the life of his friend, and also this Nidavelarian dwarf. If you remember, those are the dwarves that made the hammers of Thor, and that's actually referenced here, that they continually make hammers for Odin's son. So, wow, that's awesome. I love when a writer pays attention to what other people are doing. It's not easy. There's no way it's easy, but when they do, wow, you got to be impressed. You got to be impressed. So anyway, a couple things happen here. One, I think most people should remember the Magistanians. These are the home race of Laura Dean from the Runaways. All right, go and check out the TV show. Go and check out the comic books. There's a comic book running right now. Go check out Laura Dean Explained in a Minute, because I did all of the basic Runaways characters. Go check those guys out. Anyhow, oh man. So they're planning on attacking the Earth, which is pretty cool. I'm wondering if that means that they're going to actually involve the Runaways in the next story or two. There's one part here where the dwarf says to Strange, "Where are your tools?" And he's like, "Oh, I only have this and this." It's like, that's not what I asked. Where are your tools? He's like, "What are you talking about? These are my tools. There's like the wand of such and such and the feather of such and such, whatever the heck they are, the butt plug of so-and-so." He's like, "That's not what I asked you. Those are somebody else's tools. Of. Don't you understand? They're not yours. You're just using them. Where are yours? Where are the things named after you?" It's at this point that I have to sit back. I sat back and I couldn't finish the last page for a couple of minutes, easily a couple of minutes, because I just got lost in my head. And I sat back and I thought to myself, what kind of genius is Mark Waid? Because this book felt as though he just wrote it. You know, a little bit of research, of course, that's what he does, but almost like it's just, I mean, obviously he enjoys doing this because he could do whatever he wanted to do, but he obviously enjoys this. So it's not like he just did it spuriously. No, he took the time to write this book and do the research, but man, it's like he did it with a smile on his face the whole time. This guy is just so good. It's like this is going to be a weird kind of analogy that I'm going to make this comparison, but it's like, you know, I practiced hard to run. You know what I'm saying? To be a runner, to be on the track and field team when I was a kid. I was naturally pretty good. I had really great endurance, but as far as running fast, my body just wasn't built for running fast. I take long strides when I run. It helps to reduce the energy use, you know, and to build up fewer fatigue poisons so that I can continue running for a long time. But as far as pumping my legs fast to run over short distances, that's not what I was built for. Well, in the past, I was able to do it, but it was through lots of practice, lots of effort. Meanwhile, it was effortless for me to just run cross country. And, you know, when I see somebody who could run fast over short distances but couldn't run very far, we were both a little bit envious of what each other could do without ever wanting to lose what we ourselves had. And so there's some things you could train for, some things you're just built for naturally. This is what, they mean when they say everybody's got a talent. Everybody's got something that just comes naturally to them. And if you work on improving those through talent also, you just become essentially one of the best at it. I feel like writing comic books just comes so natural to Mark Waid. You know what I'm saying? Reading this book, seeing the effortlessness that was involved in putting together this masterful story. This is only issue 4. It was only 4 issues ago when I was picking up this story that for the past 2 months prior, I'd been saying, I just don't see how Mark Waid could possibly write a good Doctor Strange story where he's in freaking space and doesn't have any powers. That just doesn't make any sense to me. That's just so silly. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't mean at all, but I was a little bit, I was outspoken. I'm just like, I just don't see how it's going to work. And now I'm just finding myself eating my words and salting it as it's going down my mouth. Like, wow, this is just so damn good. And it's such an inspiration. This is going to sound a little bit cocky, but everybody's got to be able to do this at some point. The reason why I started making videos on YouTube is because the videos that I wanted to make, which were comic book reviews and explaining characters and sometimes explaining storylines, I knew in my mind that I could do it better than anybody else, better than anybody who was already doing it out there. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, and I don't care. It doesn't actually matter. The idea is that I believe that I can, and I believe that I do. That's why I continue doing it. And I look at this, and I think to myself, I need to push Mark Waid out of my head while still trying to learn his styles and watch what he's doing, because he's just so damn good that it's inspirational to see what I could potentially accomplish, but it's also intimidating knowing that, in my mind, knowing that I'll never be this good, and I have to put that out of my mind. This is, you know what? Like, the best I can look at it as, this is the ladder. And these are the brass rings that have already been touched. And I know that I've simply got to, touch on all those. And I see the time and whatever. And I'm just knowing I know what I've got to beat now. And I don't know, man. It's scary. Because I don't like doing anything unless I'm the best at it. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I push myself hard to be the best at those things. When I was in the military, same thing. When I was in engineering school, same thing. When I was studying the martial arts, same thing. You know what I'm saying? I really pushed myself hard to be the best that I could. Track and field, everything. And yeah, knowing that within the next 2 years, I actually want to fully be able to get into writing my own comic books. Damn. This is going to be one of the blueprints for how I do it. I thought that all of that I just gave was important to really understand what it is that I'm reading here when I'm reading Doctor Strange. This is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. And again, Jesus doing the amazing art that's in here also. All of the art. That's also impressive. I'm not trying to be an artist, though. So man. Anyway, this is amazing. That's it. Guys, why are you not buying this comic book? Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.